Salutations, social fiends. Welcome to This Week in Social, the show where I present to you the no-nonsense, condensed version of what's happening in the world of social media. Okay, to our first news. Facebook began testing a new feature called Topics to Follow. According to TechCrunch, this feature is being tested on a limited group of Facebook users, most likely focused in North America. It allows users to pick topics that they might be interested in. Say, for instance, you like horror movies or science fiction or politics or anime girls dressed in school uniforms or something freaky like that. And Facebook will then show them posts, or rather show you posts from pages that you actually didn't like. This is a way of making your Facebook feed more diverse with different views, something Facebook got criticized for during the US presidential election. Those that liked pages that only conformed to their worldviews lived in their own Facebook bubble. There's no guarantee that this feature will be rolled out, as Facebook has been known to test lots of features that didn't actually make it past the testing phase. My humble opinion, I think it's quite bold of them to break their own algorithm. I mean, up to this point, you only saw your friends' postings plus posts from pages you like. So this feature kind of breaks from that. But it's gotta be balanced just right so that it doesn't lead to feed overload, which I'm sure is exactly what they're testing the feature for, as well as, seeing whether people actually use this feature. New York Times is now on Snapchat Discover. Yay! But you can't find them if you live outside of the US. Boo! So this story is huge because it symbolizes how old media is evolving to embrace new media, social media. That has been happening in North America and Europe the past couple of years, but I just wished Malaysian media was as progressive as this. I mean, there's so much you could do on platforms other than Facebook. Today, most Malaysian media companies just use Facebook to repost the same news articles from their site. There's so much more they could do using new formats like Snapchat Stories and Snapchat Discover, new forms of content that cater to a new generation. Continuing with Snapchat are beta testing a proper self-serve ad manager. Now, Snapchat Ads is the missing link that would allow smaller businesses to create their own Snapchat ads easily. Facebook is a master of this, which is why Facebook's profits have been growing tremendously over the years. There's also Snapchat Mobile Dashboard, which enables advertisers to track performance of their ads, and Business Manager, which lets you give different people different roles, kind of similar to what Facebook has with Facebook Business Manager. But I don't know how similar they are in feature set, but I think Snapchat will just make things look a lot more cooler though. While Snapchat is a major player in North America and Europe for the younger demographic, it still doesn't have a big audience in Asia, something I think will change, or at least I hope it will change. And you know what? It needs to change soon enough, as Snapchat is facing the pressure of slowing growth due to Facebook actually being really aggressive and copying their features. Time will tell though, but personally I like Snapchat and some of the stuff they are doing is really cool. I just wished more people use it here in Asia. Phishing still continues to be a major problem, as Google was rocked by a massive phishing scam. And by phishing, I don't mean like fishing for fishes, alright? But phishing is actually a method of extracting user information by creating a website that copies the look and feel of another site to trick users into entering their information. So the recent phishing attack that affected thousands of people used Google Docs to trick people into sign in using their Google account. It's insane, but the people behind the attacks managed to use Google's own scripts to fool people into thinking it's a genuine Google web page. Google has since updated their Gmail app on Android to warn users when they click on suspicious links in their email. So you need probably another 1 or 2 more warnings whenever you're using these emails and stuff of suspicious links or suspicious sender and stuff, because users, they just don't know any better. And finally, the last story here is about Malaysia, and it's not a good thing. Malaysia is back in world news again when a minister stated that WhatsApp group admins can be jailed for spreading fake news. According to the minister, anyone who's using messaging platforms such as Snapchat. Yes, I suppose Snapchat. I guess Malaysia Snapchat doesn't count though, because Snapchat, your messages disappear. Think about that. That's an epiphany right there, right? Following on to the previous story. Snapchat, yeah. But anyway, people who use WhatsApp, WeChat, Viber and Telegram can face legal action for spreading information that could jeopardize national security. As I said, unless of course you use Snapchat. This is under Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act, CMA 1998. Later, the MCMC, or Multimedia Malaysia Communications and Malaysia Commission, or as we in Malaysia call them, the Internet Overlords, clarified that this also applies to all users and not just group admins. Yeah, that's very comforting to know. Thank you, Internet Overlords. This news follows what's been happening in India, where a WhatsApp admin was arrested and released on bail because a member in the group posted morphed images of the Indian Prime Minister. Okay, I'm not so sure what's the justification in India, but I'm sure a digitally manipulated image of a minister isn't going to jeopardize national security, at least in Malaysia, right? So yeah, this is not a development I like. It's always been my belief that the internet should be free without restrictions. People should be mature enough to decide for themselves, but governments around the world, including Malaysia, so many times Malaysia, seem they need to safeguard their citizens from harmful text messages. I'm sorry. I suppose these days it's GIFs that threaten national security. But I really hope citizens of this country come forward to speak to their representatives and say their piece. If we keep quiet, we lose. And that's it. That's the first episode. This has been This Week in Social. I hope you liked this episode. Give me comments in the comments below, and I'll see you next week.